Hi, I'm Marie. Welcome to Marie's Kitchen. I'm so glad you're back. Today we're making one of my favorite desserts. It's a simple Dulce De Leche Icebox pie. This pie is so easy, y'all. There's 2 ingredients in the crust and 4 in the filling. So it's just so easy. Anyone can do this. If you're a beginner, this is a great one to learn. It's a great one to have if you need something special for a special occasion. It's great for summer because it's so cold. It kind of tastes like ice cream in a pie. So I really think you're going to enjoy this one. Let's get started. Dulce De Leche Icebox pie. What do you need? Well, first you need graham crackers and butter. That will make the graham cracker crust. If you want to make this gluten-free, you can use gluten-free cookies. You can do the gluten-free Annie's Bunny cookies, or these are some Simple Mills Cinnamon Crunch cookies. These are fine. So if you want to make the crust gluten-free, you certainly can. The filling is powdered sugar, cream cheese, a can of Dulce De Leche, and I usually find this right next to the sweetened condensed milk in the baking aisle, or sometimes if you have a Hispanic section, you may find it there. So it's made by Nestle, and this is a Dulce De Leche can. It's 13.4 ounces. So you'll need that for the filling. That's the main flavor, and then also some heavy whipping cream. Okay, so to start, we are going to make the crust. And it's so simple. It's just grams and butter. So all you're going to need is about 10 graham crackers. What you're going for is 1.5 cups of crumbs. So you could buy the crumbs already crumbled, and you'll just need 1.5 cups. Or if you make your own crumbs out of a gluten-free cookie, you'll need about 1.5 cups. And that's about 10 graham crackers. So here is 6. Put those in there and get a few more. Then we're going to melt 6 tablespoons of butter, and then just add that into the crumbs, and that's the crust. I don't make graham cracker crust that often, but you know what? I think I'm changing my tune here because this one is so good. When it cooks up, it's kind of nutty tasting, and it's just so buttery, and I really like it. So I think I'm becoming a new fan of graham cracker crusts. Okay, we'll pulse those up and then melt the butter. Okay, there we go. We've got our graham cracker crumbs. We're going to... Hi!
Hi.
Good morning. Afternoon. Now we're going to need 6 tablespoons butter, and do you want to tell them how you measure butter?
No.
Okay. So there's a measuring guide right here on the side of the butter. So you just measure off 6 tablespoons and cut right where that line is. So 6 tablespoons of butter. Really easy, and then we're going to just melt that.
Make sure it's cold, right?
This one we're going to melt, actually. Yeah, we're going to melt it so it doesn't have to be cold. We needed the cold butter in strawberry shortcakes the other day. Yeah. This one we're going to melt it though. So do you want to melt it?
Sure.
Okay, great. So we're just going to melt that butter, and this is unsalted butter. Good idea. Why do you use the paper towel?
Because it's splatter.
Yeah, so if you're melting the butter in the microwave, you can put a paper towel over it so it doesn't explode in your microwave, because it will do that. I do not like cleaning the microwave, so I try to avoid that. I'm going to preheat the oven to 350, and then we're going to press the crust into this pie plate. Then we'll bake it for about 10 to 12 minutes, just until it's just set. The crust is already cooked, of course, the crackers are cooked. It just kind of gives it this nice little nutty flavor and just kind of solidifies the crust. So about 10 minutes at 350 should do it. And I know a lot of people love no-bake desserts, so if you want to do this as a no-bake option, you press the filling in and then put it in the freezer for about 2 hours, and that will firm up the crust. So 2 choices: you can either do the no-bake option where you press in the crust and keep it in the freezer for 2 hours, or you can press it in and bake it in the oven for 10 minutes. I think baking it in the oven for 10 minutes is easier than waiting 2 hours in the freezer, so I actually think the bake option's easier than the no-bake, but I know some people want to do the no-bake, so that is an option. You got the butter, Betty?
Yeah.
Now, you just pour that right in. 6 tablespoons butter. Thank you much. Then we will go ahead and blend this together. There we go. So we'll get our crust, just dump it out here into the pie plate. I'm using a 10-inch pie plate. If all you have is something smaller, you could use that, but you'll have too much filling. So just be prepared to, don't overfill it. It fits a 10-inch crust. Just be prepared if you have a smaller pie plate, or if you're using one of those store-bought graham cracker crusts or a store-bought crust, it's probably going to be a smaller pie plate.
It smells really good.
Doesn't it? It smells so good. It's probably going to, it'll be too much filling, so you'll just have to put some in a bowl and kind of, you know, eat that yourself, you know, which is not a bad thing. Okay, so we're just going to press this in with the cup, and we're just pressing it up the sides.
Yeah, definitely one thing you need to have when you're in the kitchen is like a good set of like one cup through like 1/8 cup measuring cup.
You're exactly right. And you know, mine are just falling apart. I have like half sets. They've been warped in the dishwasher.
Yeah,
I'm really I need some new metal ones is what I really need.
You usually need like a nice, good, strong metal one.
A metal set.
Yeah.
Okay, there's our crust. Looks,
And like, yeah, these ones get warped in the dishwasher.
they do. Yeah, my favorite is definitely the light stainless steel metal measuring cups. So here's our crust. We're going to pop this in the oven for about 10 minutes and just let it crisp up. And now we'll start on the filling. For the filling, you will need a mixer or beaters to beat this together. We're going to use 8 ounces of cream cheese. Room temperature is best, so let it sit out while you're preheating the oven and getting out all the ingredients. Just let it sit out for a little while you're getting prepared. That's what I usually do. So 8 ounces cream cheese right into the bowl. There we go. Then we'll add 1/4 cup powdered sugar. Level that off. Add that in. You want to beat it for several minutes until it's nice and smooth. Forgot to add the salt, so I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon salt to the powdered sugar and cream cheese, and then keep beating that. Okay, that looks good. So we've got this nice and mixed with no lumps. Now we'll add our 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. So you can see this is a low-fat dish. And 1 can of the Dulce De Leche. You can see it has that kind of butterscotch caramel look to it. It's actually just cooked sweetened condensed milk. And so it's got great flavor. It's a really unique flavor, and with just a 1/4 cup powdered sugar plus the Dulce de Leche, it's not overly sweet. It's a very pleasant sweetness, and there's a little salt in there. You kind of get that salted caramel taste, which everyone loves. So now we'll go ahead and blend this together with the caramel. Okay, that's starting to really come together. It looks so good. Look how nice and creamy that is. It looks kind of like butterscotch or caramel. You want to wipe the edges and the bottom with a spatula to make sure you don't have any that's left on the bottom that's not getting mixed in. That happens a lot to me in this mixer, so just make sure you use your spatula to mix it up and then keep blending. We'll whip it up so it gets nice and airy. This dessert, it probably takes 20 minutes total. Now it is going to have to chill for 2 hours, but the making is really, really quick. I'm already cleaned up and it's almost done, and it's been about 15 minutes, so this is great. Okay, sounds like the crust is ready. Put on my trusty bear paw oven mitts. My kids gave me these. Grab our pie crust. Looks great. It looks almost the same as when it went in, except it's a little browner, a little toastier, and it just smells so good. The one thing you need to remember for this pie, it's really tempting to go ahead and want to put the filling in this hot crust. And I may have done that before, and it may have been a bad idea. Because then it melts the filling and it just starts going everywhere. So don't rush this recipe. It's very tempting because it's like, oh, this is such a fast recipe. I'm just gonna go ahead and pour this in there, and then that's a bad idea. So don't do that. You know, as I told my daughter, I learn from my mistakes, and that's what makes me get better in the kitchen, is I'm learning from my mistakes, and that was one I made, and so I want you to learn from my mistakes too. Don't put the cold filling in the hot crust. Okay, so we'll let this cool over here, and then we've got our filling here, and we're just going to pour that right into the crust. I think I might wear these all day. Hi! Doesn't it make you happy? It's like, hi! Okay, so we're waiting for the crust to cool, then we'll pour the filling in, then we'll throw it in the freezer and let it chill, really set up nice, and then I'm going to show you this hack for decorating it. It is so easy and so fun. I really think you're going to love it. So I actually popped the crust in the fridge to speed up the cooling because I have no patience. So it's in the fridge cooling, and I forgot to tell you the hardest part about this pie is that you're going to have to find space in your freezer to put the whole pie in flat. I know that's a challenge. You can do it. It's hard. You may have to take out a few things. That's always a challenge for me, and we even have 2 freezers, and I can never find space to put a whole pie. You gotta have space for a whole pie? That's hard. Anyway, so that's the hardest part about this pie, is trying to get it to fit in the freezer to chill. Okay, now I'm going to show you the hack for decorating the top of the pie. What we're going to use, and this is such one of my favorite hacks, it's so great, it works for icing, it works for, oh,
Hi.
have a taste. Oh, my goodness. That's a bit much. Good?
Yeah.
Let me have a little taste of it. That's too much, buddy. Goodness. Really good flavor. Don't you think?
Yeah.
If you like even more of like the sea salt, you could do some large flakes on top. That'd be good. So here's the hack that I really love for drizzling chocolate or Nutella on top. We're going to cut a very small hole in the tip of this bag. Very small, just the very tip of this corner we're going to cut off, so it's a nice small hole. And now you have a little piping bag to pipe. You know how
Don't put hot chocolate
the experts do? Hot?
Don't put hot chocolate.
Because it'll melt it?
Yeah.
So we are going to warm this up a little bit just to soften it, but you're right, you don't want it to be like lava hot, because you'll put your hands on it and it'll burn your hands. We've also done that before, haven't we?
And it'll melt the plastic.
And it melts the plastic. We've made all the mistakes, okay? Trust us. So we're just going to take some Nutella and put that down in your little corner. And then once the pie is filled and chilled, we'll pop this in the microwave for just 10 seconds or so, just to warm it, to thin it a little bit. And then you'll squeeze the chocolate down and drizzle it over the top of the pie. And it looks so fancy. And for something so simple, it's just such a huge reward. So we're gonna save this for after the pie has chilled. So this is a great way to drizzle if you ever need to do that. It looks really professional, even though it's not. Okay, the crust has cooled down a bit, so we're ready to add the filling. Just gonna give it a quick blend. Okay, then we're going to just pour the filling right into the pie crust. Very easy. And like I said, if you have a smaller pie plate, say 9-inch or 9.5-inch, just be careful not to overfill. There is all that yummy filling. We'll just move that around here in the center. It's so fluffy and just wonderful looking. I'm going to leave some texture on top. All right, that looks great. Now this goes into the freezer for 2 hours and you're done. And if you want, like I showed you, you can use this Nutella drizzle to drizzle across the whole thing, and you have this gorgeous chocolate decoration. So we'll do that after it chills. Okay, so we have our icebox pie out of the freezer. It's been freezing for about 2 hours. And now here is the Nutella that we're gonna use in the little bag. So what we did is we got this Ziploc bag, trimmed off the end here, so there's a real small little hole there where the Nutella will come out. And then what we're gonna do is just spread that all over the pie. Does not have to be in any organized way. This is just very rustic, but we're gonna squeeze the Nutella all over the pie. Just like that. Isn't that lovely? Love how it turns out. So cute and still so easy. Thanks so much for joining us on Marie's Kitchen. Today we made this delicious Dulce De Leche Icebox pie with a Nutella drizzle and a graham cracker crust. It was so easy to make with just a handful of ingredients and a few steps. Anyone can do this, and I really hope you get to try it. If you do, let me know in the comments. We would love to hear from you. Also, give us a like or a thumbs up if you like this video. Also, be sure to subscribe. I've got lots more videos coming up just like this with just a few ingredients that are so easy for anyone, whether you're a beginner or you've been cooking for a while. They're easy recipes with just a handful of ingredients, and they come out just gorgeous every time. And that really is what this is all about. It's about giving you some confidence in the kitchen and some recipes that you can really feel good about making and then really proud to serve and share with people that you love. From my kitchen to yours, thank you. Pretty. Next, we'll make the filling. Next, we'll make the filling. They're so cute. They used to have these long fingernails on them, but my kid, Jack, cut them off for me because it was hard to even grab things in the oven. You'd have these claws going into things. So he trimmed them for me, and I like them better. Okay.